guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Beatrice Ajayi. I'm an artist based here in Scotland, and I love to share my artwork with you guys here on my channel. I love to use a bunch of different mediums, and today is no different. I'm just getting straight into it. So I bought a handful of new sketchbooks, A4 sketchbooks, that I wanted to use to start playing around and really experimenting on some techniques. I am really wanting to also get my sketching really down to an interesting way that I want. I'm trying to figure out what my subject matter is and how to represent that in my artwork. So I know I love animals, I love birds, so I have a lot of birds in my artwork. Like this one here is part of the series I've been doing recently of abstracted backgrounds, and I then basically paint a character over it and get that abstracted look, because this is like a bird flying, and this might be landscape that it's flying past in the background, but the focus obviously is the bird. So that's what that one is. And this one is similar, so the colors were similar. Like last week I mentioned about how I've been getting these textures, kind of putting paint on and then putting two pieces of paper together and then getting the colors to transfer, kind of like a jelly plate idea, but with the paper, and then painting over it to get these characters to come out, and add in things like I love my florals. So this one I've got flowers, kind of a bit more abstracted flowers, but a bit more visible in this one. So let's see what this one looks like behind. This one I've got some reflective silver paint, acrylic paint. These are all acrylic paints, and maybe some sketches as well, like if I drew with pencils or anything on them. So this one is a bit more reflective. It's the same process again of just putting paint on and putting other papers on top and transferring the paint. And then I've drawn this bird in and basically added some more flowers, but this is a different color combination to these two, which I feel like is simpler the way they look. So yeah, that's what I've been working on recently, and I wanted to start getting my actual drawing down so that when I make these backgrounds, I'll be able to have kind of a subject that I can put on it. And then I'm trying to figure out how to tell my own stories. So I like birds, I like flowers, I do like people, portrait wise. I used to kind of illustrate a lot of children in my illustrations, like these ones. I think I've shown them a few times before, like this one, and also like this little boy. So these are digital illustrations. So what I wanted to start doing is, I think I said at the beginning of this year, is to illustrate or to paint and draw more realistic manner, so that I can then pull it back and go back into my own storytelling. So I've been trying to focus on creating art pieces that are more realistic and also have a story in it. So right now I'm trying to bring together, consolidate, condense, which I've been trying to do all year and probably last year as well. I'm trying to consolidate all my pieces of artwork and figure out what works and what I want to follow through on, what I want to go on a journey with on. So as I'm looking around my studio, the same thing. It's portraits of people, it's birds, it's flowers, animals of varying sorts and things like that. So yeah, that's more where I want to push it. So I bought these sketchbooks so that I can work on that. So that's what we're going to do today. As I talk about our topic today, I'm going to be sketching and painting. I might use some watercolors, acrylics, depends what mood I'm feeling in. I like to use different mediums. So I am going to get started. I'm going to set up over there by the painting area and get on with it. So let's go. So this is the painting area here. I've got to put this hand on so that I can record what I'm about to show you, and I have been adjusting this area yet again, and I've put some paints here And also I have a stand that I'm going to bring in as well that has the other paints on it. So I could set you up here and see if I can bring that in without falling over. So just a moment. Is the cart that I've put things on. This used to be my daughter's room, but I have decided to utilize it because we're making space in her room. I have a whole bunch of pencils down here, watercolor pencils. Let me just check that you can see me. I'm going to move this further back so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to put this up. I've got my slippers on. Let me take that off. So let's see. I am wanting to see if I'm going in the right direction. Nope. So just put this on. So how are you guys doing? It is coming up to the Christmas season at the moment, and we're all very busy. Let's see. Let's see if this can go over my head and focus you guys over here. So I'm going to move you over to look down at what I have on the table and organize myself. So I don't know how bright this is. Let me just see if I turn this light on as well. I'm going to turn probably almost every light in here on. Right, so this is what I have on my, this is an older sketchbook, and I wanted to, so this is what I've been playing around with recently. I was using my stencils, and this is an older sketchbook. I've already got quite a few things on it. But yeah, I wanted to try out my stencils that I got a little while ago. So that's what I've been doing. It was fun doing this actually. And that's what I'm saying. I want to play more in my sketchbook. So I'm just moving some things around so you can see what I used. Just sit down. So I used these different templates to create these bees. Let's see, this one is this one, so I use that, and this one is this one over here, and this one was this one. So, and then I used a whole bunch of other stencils that I tested out on the background, just to see what they all look like. Some of this one, or was it this one? Like this one here. I tried some more out on other pages as well. So that's kind of one of the things I've been doing, which I've been trying to play, like I said, more in my sketchbook. So this is an older sketchbook, but for this time I am going to basically spend creating some new artwork. Take that away and put my new one here. So that's what I was saying that I did the other day, this sketch, and I'm going to go on to a new page for today and go ahead with that. So now I ordered a new, what would I say? Oops, spilling my water here, causing chaos. I ordered a new sharpener because I seem to have misplaced my sharpener, and also let's see, which one am I going to use? I seem to have misplaced my sharpener, and also I think an electric sharpener is probably going to be more efficient for me. We'll see the one I got, what it's like. But what I've been doing as well is looking at references, trying to get characters down to the way I want them on the page. So I will like either use my phone, but I'm using it to record, so I can't do that. Or I will use my iPad and go into it and look for my app that I've been using, which is Unsplash. And on Unsplash, basically you can get a whole range of references. You can use Pixabay as well, which I've not been using as much, but I might think about that again. And let's see, type in whatever it is that you're looking for. I have been going through a whole range of characters to get an idea of who I want to paint. And I've been doing that with also creating my digital images as well. So it's like to get a character that I think would be interesting for my paintings. I always use this girl here, don't know why, but I use her a lot just because her face looks very generic to me. So I might add her there and then just put her somewhere on the page. And I'm just going to be very quick. I don't want to take too long in adding her face. I just want to quickly add in a portrait character, and it's not going to be perfect. Yeah, so what I'm going to do as well is put this, on a voiceover, because I had a topic I wanted to go into, which is to do with expectations. So I will do a voiceover for that here now, and I will just keep on sketching and painting and whatever I come up with. So yeah, I will see you on the other side of this painting time. My topic for today while I'm painting is about expectations. I sometimes giggle like a little girl in my mind when I think about, adding YouTuber to my professional artist title. But should it be taboo to say that I am a YouTuber? Being a YouTuber is hard work. I barely scratched the surface as to where my channel can go. And it is seriously exciting to be able to have a space where we can navigate our interests and share our journey to the world. We can invite people into our world and we can share with them what it is we love, what it is that we're passionate about, what it is that drives us. And being a content creator is not a joke. I mean, not all YouTubers are the same. So if we're trying to look for a formula when we have our channels, when we're sharing here on this platform, there's no point, because not all, for example, sports athletes are the same, not all dancers are the same, not all performers, whatever creative industry you're in or you have interest in, or whatever job you're doing, you are not exactly the same as your colleague to your left or to your right. It can be easy to compare ourselves to others in life in general, and over the years I have watched a range of creatives over on this platform on YouTube, and they've all been different ages, different stages of life, and a number of YouTubers I remember watching were before they had kids, at least 6 of them I can remember right now, younger artists than myself, and they didn't have kids at the time, and I can see how their lives have changed, how they're now navigating having a child, and how they're having to adjust themselves and rearrange their schedules around their new family. And I basically started off watching these individuals with a family already. I was already a mom, going through from nursery, going through primary school. They're both now in secondary school. And obviously at the beginning, you'd have less time because they're younger. You need to spend more time with them. So how do you navigate that while you create? And I remember that I would not actually stop creating. I know that when they had their naps, if I had the energy, I would create some artwork. Even when I was breastfeeding, I would still like have my notepad or my sketchbook on one side and still be sketching away. When I would start so I really changed my life around and adjusted myself to the different stages of life that the kids were in. But I never ever thought that I didn't want to create. I always made a space. Even before I had my family, if I was on the train, I would sketch. If I was waiting at a bus stop, I would sketch. In my office break times, like my different jobs, I would sketch. And I did study fine art. I studied art at uni. But even in the life that came after, I always found time to add my creativity to whatever I was doing because I love it. I'm passionate about it. I used to say that I was obsessed about it, but I figured that that didn't feel healthy. So I've gone back to saying that I'm passionate about it. And at this point in time, at this stage in my life, my kids are now both in secondary school, and so I get a bigger chunk of time to drop them off in the school run and then to focus on my art. And then I'm finding that I'm scheduling myself so that I'm very strategic when I'm coming into my studio space, and I am making sure that I can knock out something that will assist me in progressing in my interest in this creative life so that I can actually move forward, I can grow. At this point in time, while I'm recording this, the kids are at school, which is what I mean. And so the house is quieter and I can focus on this instead of thinking about their needs and their, what they need to get done. Though they're older now, as I said, so a lot of things they do themselves, which is handy. But it's been a long journey to get to this point. My oldest is 14, so that's 14 years at least spent in very, very intrinsic care of kids and their needs. And how do you let those 14 years go in the creative sense? I would not have been able to do that. It's in fact assisted me in my care for the kids and my care for the family, because my passion and my interest has still been beside me, have walked with me through this journey. I didn't let it go. I refused to let it go. And so that is where my expectation of myself was that this is something that gives me joy. It helps me in different ways that I can't even explain. But by the time I've spent time creating, and then I go and I meet my kids and I hug them and all the different things that I do through the day, I have this extra joy, this extra fuel that is sustaining me through the day because I've had that time spent on myself, following my passions, feeding that need in me to be creative. So that's why I always encourage people to do the same. Find what it is that you love and add it to your life. It is part of your life. It's more like you'd be cutting it out. So the expectations, as I said, for my channel, watching all the different YouTubers I've watched, seeing the different stages that everyone is, what is my expectation for my YouTube channel, for my engagement, for what I'm sharing with people? And I'm still working through that, but I've decided that as I go along, I just want to be real. I just want to share. I just want to give examples of what it is that is driving me and my kind of process as well. So the creative part of it is practical. I need to sit down, I need to paint, and I end up coming up with something that would be considered a final product in this world that we live in. But I end up telling a story. That's what I want to say is the way I'm approaching this. I am telling a story. If there's a little bird flying through some kind of environment, the focus is this bird. It is the main character. It is the hero of that story. So what is it that it is sharing with me? Is it a peaceful environment? Is it a stormy environment? Is it one of wonder, or one that looks like it's hinting at love and relationship and family? Those are the kind of things I want to focus on through my art and what I'm sharing. So yeah, I'm hoping I can, like for next year, 2025, that the story that I'm telling becomes more and more clear in my mind as well. And I want to be able to get to a stage where when I create artwork, I am specifically telling the story of that individual. Like, I want to have practical, handwritten little scripts, like even poetry wise, that is explaining or is hinting at what that conversation is within the art piece of the painting that I've created or the sketch or whatever it is I'm doing. I want to be able to tell the story a lot better. And that might resonate with people, it might not, but for myself, I would have had it out of my system, and it informs my work. It helps me to process what it is that I'm doing. So yeah, I'm excited, looking forward to next year and the expectations I have of myself. I feel like this year I have done more than I expected for myself, whatever that was. And there were a lot of challenges, but I want to be able to have grown, and hopefully I have new knowledge that will assist me in the coming year. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share this video, this vlog time as I'm painting, is what expectations do you have for yourself? It doesn't have to be to do with YouTube. It doesn't have to be with being a YouTuber or but like for work, for your family, for your interests. What expectations do you have about yourself? And you don't have to look at the expectations of other people. You know, we have family, we have friends, we have neighbors, we have colleagues at work that can have expectations of who they think you are. But as the point is, we can't read each other's minds. You alone know who you are and what you're capable of and what you dream of and what you'd like your life to look like. And that is the same journey we're all going through. And for myself, I want to be clearer and clearer as to what all those things are. And I'm trying to be brave, bold, and courageous, so that I don't limit myself, I don't restrict myself. Because each of us brings something to the people around us, to every person we touch in life. I feel like we bring something to those relationships. Even if it's a stranger you're walking past in the street, we can still engage with each other in the simplest of ways. But what impact do we have in that engagement? So I just want us all to understand that the expectations that we sometimes place on ourselves from other people around us is not necessarily what we're supposed to be. We alone know who we are supposed to be. So for myself, I'm hoping that that expectation of myself, what I know to be true, comes out more and more. And it comes out in a way that is comfortable, natural, not contrived, and just to share who I am. It's hard because sometimes you can feel people might be thinking certain things about you, but I need to break through that barrier because I might be able to inspire other people to be themselves by being myself. It's like, so these I think I like this one the most because this was the more dynamic one. This one I probably got a bit more scared again, mainly probably because I was focusing so much on trying to draw the face. But this one I had been looking at reference. This one was all supposed to be me trying to figure out how to do this. So there's no forehead there. So if I can find my tools. Yeah, here I would have probably given myself more, keep knocking this, a bit more space for my forehead here. So this was a bit too close. So this would have been pushed back a bit more. There'd be more forehead there. See if I can put, so there'd be more forehead here than I put basically, because that's more similar here. So yeah, I'll just need to practice some more. That's what I got the sketchbooks for. And then once they're dry, if I want to add pencil to them or more paint, just seeing how it goes, using my different tools, scratching into it as well, getting textures. Yeah, so these are what I've done for today, for this time here in the studio. Thank you for joining me. Please do subscribe. Thank you to all those who have been subscribing and who have been, you know, sending me comments. And I just want to mention you. Thank you for your comments. That was awesome, and exactly what you said is what I want to do with this channel, is to share artwork, is to share the process, and it's to inspire, encourage other people to get on with doing what it is that inspires them. And yeah, that's basically what this channel is for. So as always, if you get time, please do create your own artwork, spend time doing whatever it is that you love, and it'll make us happier people, to be honest. There's a lot going on. This is a brilliant distraction and it will fuel us, refuel us for the challenges and the journeys that we're going through. And so yeah, I encourage you to find the time, however long it is, just to create something. So I'll see you guys next week. And as always, this is going to be on the Sundays. And so I'm trying that out at this point in time, and no longer on the Wednesdays. So I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for joining me, and bye for now.